Trump wanted to speak in court today. The judge said no. How big of a deal is this?
Well, initially we had just asked, could we please postpone today? His mother-in-law clearly just died and he would have liked to have been with his family. The judge said no.
Why?
So Donald Trump not allowed to give the closing arguments is how Fox is presenting it in his fraud trial. Now that, you'll be shocked to find out, is not accurate at all. You'll be equally shocked to find out that Alina Habba is being dishonest about this. Not just about him not being allowed to do the closing arguments, but also the idea that we need to delay the trial because he wants to console Melania. He's devastated by the fact that her mother died, and that is very sad. That's very sad for Melania's family. It's very sad for Melania. I don't think that Donald Trump feels literally anything as a result of that. He just wants to delay the trial. She knows him better than we do. She knows that he doesn't give a damn about her family. But anyway, there's some dishonesty too about exactly what happened with the judge. And we're gonna get into that, but I wanna give you just a little bit more of Alina Habba first.
To be clear, it's one thing to limit closing arguments to the information and evidence presented at trial. That's a rule that everybody needs to follow, all lawyers. But how much further did the judge order go beyond that in limiting what Donald Trump could say?
Effectively, he didn't want him to litigate the ugly parts of the case. He didn't want Donald Trump to say a lot of things that we would be saying. He has a right, and I think we're seeing this consistently across a lot of these cases. They gag him, they tell him you can't publicly say it, they say you can't even say it when you're at home on True Social, you can't say it on Twitter. Imagine free speech being completely slashed, not for a normal person, never mind us, but for the leading candidate of the Republican Party.
You know, it is cliche and perhaps too easy to, in a knee-jerk way, present those on the other side as being fundamentally immoral or evil or anything like that. It just, to me, like, she knows what he is trying to do with his posts. When he shows a figure in one of his cases with a baseball bat aimed at their head, she knows exactly what he is trying to do. And in exchange for money, she is advocating for his continued ability to do that. She knows that this is not about him trying to like make his case. This is about him inspiring chaos and violence. And she's fine with that so long as the check clears. I don't know how you sleep with that. I mean, she's hardly alone on the right, but anyway, the presentation there of exactly what Judge Engoron had actually limited Trump, I think they're being completely dishonest. That said, I'm in a bubble, so I'm gonna read what the judge said. And Jordan Uhl, you tell me if you think that the restrictions that the judge was requiring him to agree to are too onerous, okay? So he said, in my sole discretion, I will consent to let Mr. Trump make a closing argument if and only if through counsel by the 9th of January 2024 and by himself personally on the record, my God, they talk in crazy ways. Just before he speaks, he agrees to limit his subjects to what is permissible in a counsel's closing argument. That is, commentary on the relevant material facts that are in evidence and application of the relevant law to those facts. This is basically what in the Fox clip they were referring to as this is what everybody has to agree to. Okay, he may not seek to introduce new evidence. I think the judge is being too nice in saying that what he would be presenting is evidence, but he may not testify. He may not comment on irrelevant matters. In particular, and without limitation, he may not deliver a campaign speech, and he may not impugn myself, my staff, plaintiff staff of the New York State court system, none of which is relevant to this case, and all of which, except commenting on my staff, can be done and is being done in other forums. Do I have Trump derangement syndrome in saying those are fair limitations? What do you think?
I think these are completely unfair because it deprived us of one of the funniest potential moments in American history. Like him going up, representing himself, giving his own closing argument could have been spectacular. Terrible for the legal system and for the country, but hilarious. And we were so close to that. We could have had that. You wanted excitement. You were just talking in the last segment. You wanted excitement. You could have had that, John. This is unfair. I'm standing with Trump on this. Give this man the mic.
Look, to me, there was definitely gonna be entertainment value. Like him standing in a court of law and making like an official closing argument. To me, it feels like if you like put a suit on an English bulldog and just let it defend itself or whatever. So anyway, What was he
You know
gonna
it would
talk
be
about?
funny.
I'm trying to speculate about exactly what it is that he would talk about. Would he talk about Hunter Biden's privates? Would he call someone horse face? What exactly would he say in defense of, this is the fraud trial. This isn't like the January 6th thing, or there's nothing about Raffensperger, or like, this is just, did you lie in financial statements? And I have no doubt that it would have been wild, the stuff that he would have been talking about. So yeah, it doesn't seem as if we're gonna get that. We're gonna stay on this. We know that he's there, like for the close of this, which hopefully means that in the relatively near future, we're gonna find out exactly what's gonna happen there.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.